What if I told you that the crisis surrounding Pastor Chris Okafor is not an isolated story? That it is only one chapter in a much larger pattern playing out across Nigeria's church space? Today, on BlackishGold Originals, we pull back the curtain on 6 other powerful Nigerian pastors who have each, at one time or another, stood at the center of serious public scandals, leadership crises, and national controversies. These are stories of influence, power, faith, and the dangerous cost of unchallenged authority. And here's the part that will shake you. The final name on our list is not just another headline. He is a close associate of Pastor Chris Okafor himself. This is not rumor. This is not gossip. This is documented history. Sit tight. This is BlackishGold Originals.
Number 1. Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo, Koza. The founder of Koza, Commonwealth of Zion Assembly, became one of Nigeria's most talked about pastors, not for his sermons, but for a major scandal that shook the entire nation. In 2019, Nigeria's celebrity image maker, Busola Dakolo, publicly accused him of rape, claiming that the incident had occurred years earlier when she was still a minor. The allegations immediately sparked a nationwide outcry, and the story went viral across social media, news outlets, and church circles. The Nigerian police quickly launched an investigation, which intensified public scrutiny on Fatoyinbo and his ministry. Many Koza members and church followers defended him, while others joined widespread protests demanding justice and accountability. The scandal became a test of faith and trust in Nigerian megachurch leadership, with heated debates across media platforms. Beyond the legal angle, the episode caused massive reputational damage to Koza and Fatoyinbo personally. Sponsorships, events, and his influence were affected, and his ministry had to navigate the storm carefully. Even years later, the scandal remains a reference point whenever church leadership accountability is discussed in Nigeria. What this scandal demonstrates is how power and influence in mega churches can amplify the consequences of personal misconduct. Now, if you think Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo's case shook Nigeria, the story of another global mega church leader, Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, adds an entirely different layer of controversy and public fascination. So the question is, how did Chris Oyakhilome's own personal life and marital crisis spark a similar uproar, and what lessons can be drawn from it? Number 2. Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, Christ Embassy. Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, the founder of Christ Embassy, is one of the most influential pastors in Nigeria and globally. His teachings and ministries have inspired millions, but he hasn't been free from controversy. One of the most notable public crises in his life was his highly publicized divorce from his then-wife, Anita Oyakhilome. The divorce exposed a side of church leadership many followers had never seen, a clash between public image and private reality. Allegations of emotional abuse, neglect, and marital strain were highlighted in UK court documents, which shocked not only Nigerian Christians but also international audiences. The separation contradicted Oyakhilome's previous teachings on marriage permanence, and it stirred a national debate about accountability, leadership, and morality among church leaders. Even though the divorce was legally finalized and both parties moved on privately, the scandal left a lasting mark on his public image and ministry influence. Followers questioned the balance between spiritual authority and personal responsibility, sparking discussions that continue today. This scandal is a clear example of how personal life crises can escalate into public controversies, especially when the leader holds global influence and thousands of devoted followers. So, if Pastor Chris Oyakhilome's personal life caused such a public storm, it begs the question, how does this compare to other senior pastors in Nigeria who faced crises? And what about leaders like Chidi Okoroafor of Assemblies of God? What role did church authority and public scrutiny play in his situation?
Number 3. Chidi Okoroafor, Assemblies of God Leadership Controversy. Reverend Dr. Chidi Okoroafor served as the General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God Church in Nigeria, one of the country's largest Christian denominations with thousands of churches and millions of members. In March 2020, Chidi Okoroafor faced a serious leadership and disciplinary crisis when the church's General Committee suspended him from his position. The suspension was triggered by allegations of sex scandal with a US-based woman, reported to be inconsistent with both biblical standards and the church's constitution. While the specific details were never fully disclosed publicly, the suspension sent shockwaves across the denomination and the broader Christian community in Nigeria. During the suspension period, Okoroafor was required to step down from all leadership duties and serve as an ordinary member until the church determined that sufficient accountability and repentance had occurred. The decision reflected the church's commitment to internal oversight and maintaining the integrity of its leadership. In response, leadership adjustments were made and other leaders were appointed to guide the church through the crisis. Later reports indicated that the ban was eventually lifted, allowing Okoroafor to resume ministry activities, although the episode remained a significant mark on his tenure. Now, if a senior pastor like Chidi Okoroafor faced such scrutiny over personal misconduct, the question arises, how do other prominent Nigerian pastors like Apostle Johnson Suleman manage public allegations and scandals while maintaining their ministries and followers' trust? Number 4. Apostle Johnson Suleman, Omega Fire Ministries Controversies. Apostle Johnson Suleman, founder of Omega Fire Ministries International, is one of Nigeria's most influential pastors with a large following both in person and online. But alongside his growing ministry, Suleman has repeatedly found himself in the eye of scandal. In 2017, Suleman was linked to a sex scandal involving Stephanie Otobo, a Nigerian actress and singer. Otobo alleged that the pastor had engaged in an inappropriate relationship with her. The claims quickly went viral online, sparking debates, social media outrage, and press coverage. While Suleman denied wrongdoing, the incident highlighted how Nigerian pastors' private lives can rapidly become public controversies, especially when they involve entertainment figures. Then, in 2021, another high-profile allegation surfaced when Nollywood actress Halima Abubakar accused Suleman of misconduct. The matter quickly gained traction in the media and social platforms. However, Abubakar later publicly retracted her claims, apologized in writing, and a court ruled the statements defamatory, awarding Suleman damages. This legal outcome reinforced the tension between public perception and verified facts, showing how allegations, true or false, can affect a pastor's reputation and ministry operations. These cases illustrate recurring patterns: powerful pastors, public scrutiny, celebrity involvement, and social media amplification. They also raise the question, how do other prominent Nigerian pastors manage similar scandals, and what happens when public perception clashes with legal realities? If Suleman's controversies show how public allegations can shape perceptions of clergy, it begs the question, how did another high-profile Nigerian religious leader, Father Ejike Mbaka, handle similar public accusations?
Number 5. Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka. Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka is one of Nigeria's most prominent Catholic priests and the spiritual director of Adoration Ministry, Enugu, a ministry watched by millions for its fiery sermons, bold prophetic declarations, and charismatic style. Over the years, Mbaka has attracted admiration for his spiritual insight, but his outspoken nature has also brought controversy and intense public scrutiny. Recently, Father Mbaka found himself at the center of another major public dispute when online commentator accused him of serious misconduct, questioning both his integrity and moral standing. As expected, the claims went viral across social media, sparking debates among Christians, journalists, and ordinary Nigerians. The controversy became a trending topic because of how quickly personal allegations can escalate into national conversations in today's digital era. Mbaka responded forcefully and publicly. Taking to the pulpit, he denied all claims as false, malicious, and damaging to his reputation and priestly vocation. He challenged his accuser to provide solid evidence, insisting that any retraction must be just as public as the original claims. He also warned that unverified accusations could have legal consequences and spiritual ramifications. This saga highlights the power and peril for social media for public religious figures. While his supporters rallied to defend him, critics argued that all high-profile clergy must uphold strict accountability standards, given the influence they wield over millions of followers. So, as Father Mbaka navigates this storm, the question is, are allegations against public pastors just amplified by social media, or do they reveal deeper issues within church leadership? Now, the biggest scandals on this episode.
Number 6. Prophet Joshua Iginla, adultery confession and public scandal. Prophet Joshua Iginla is the founder and senior pastor of Champions Royal Assembly in Abuja, Nigeria. Known for his large congregation, prophetic ministry, and generous giving, Iginla has long been a respected figure in Nigerian church circles. However, in 2019, he became the center of one of the more controversial pastor scandals in recent memory, when he publicly confessed to committing adultery during a Sunday service, an admission that shocked many of his followers and viewers online. In that service, Iginla revealed before his entire congregation that he and his wife had both been unfaithful during their marriage. He explained how he had forgiven his wife when she allegedly brought a child into their home from another relationship, only for him later to have a child outside their marriage as well. This revelation, including details about adultery and children born outside wedlock, quickly spread online and dominated social media conversations and news reports. The situation was unusual, not just because it was personal, but because he chose to air it openly in church, creating a viral moment that mixed pastoral accountability with personal crisis. Some critics accused him of hurting his Christian image, while others said his honesty should be praised. Interestingly, Joshua Iginla and Chris Okafor have moved in similar circles within Nigerian Christian leadership, attending events and sometimes commenting on each other's ministries. Both have faced major public debates about personal conduct and accountability, though in different ways. Their situations reflect how powerful pastors, regardless of doctrine or denomination, can find themselves under intense public scrutiny when private matters become public controversies. If Iginla's confession revealed how personal life can become public spectacle, then the question remains, how do other high-profile church leaders manage controversies that threaten both personal reputation and ministry influence?
So, there you have it. Chris Okafor and some of the biggest jaw-dropping sex-related scandals involving Nigerian pastors over the years. From shocking confessions to viral allegations, these stories reveal the dark side of power, influence, and secrecy in some corners of the church. But the conversation doesn't stop here. In our next video, we'll dive even deeper into another dimension on this situation. You don't want to miss the lessons, the fallout, and the jaw-dropping twists that still unfold online today. If this episode opened your eyes, smash that like button, share it with friends, and make sure you are subscribed so you catch the next explosive part of this series. This is Blackish Gold Originals, exposing the truth, one shocking story at a time. Click on the next video showing on your screen to continue the saga.